Welcome to Starting Over Podcast. This is a show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at part 2 of this X-Men reveal. And, well, not even reveal, it's old news by now, but we're just going to try to wrap some stuff up. I think I'm going to be able to get through the super rares and then everything else, but we'll see. All right, so Archangel. At 100 points, no. Dear Lordy Lord, no. Unless you're calling him in from an ID card. And if you're calling him in as an ID card, his obsession trait is actually pretty good. Now, let me break this down. The main reason I say that is that characters get all of their beginning of the game effects and beginning of the turn effects once they call in. I'm pretty sure on that. I know they definitely get the beginning of turn. And so because of that, you're able to do some pretty jank stuff with most of the characters that are called in through ID cards. But in particular, his obsession trait, at the beginning of your turn, if Archangel's within range and line of fire of the chosen character, note Archangel's current click number, turn him to click 11. If you do this turn when making attacks, he can only target the chosen character. At the end of your turn, return him to the noted click number. Now, if you do trigger this, do not hit a character with Mystics because that will KO him pretty easily. So yeah, there's that. But you have the Archangel can move at least 5 squares in a direct path. He can use sidestep and energy shield deflection until your next turn. So if you run a shot in 5 squares off, you can get Archangel off the map real easily. That's not a problem. So I think he's good only for a call-in. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you try to use him for, in my opinion, if you try to make him be more than what he is, you're going to have a problem. All right. So let's keep going, shall we? There is Professor X. Professor X is crap. He's 100 points. He is 100 points to start with the 9 attack, 2 damage. No. I know he has colossal stamina. I know he has X-Men team ability. So he can keep just cranking out the mind controls and going 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 and going. But no, this is bad. You need to functionally build a whole X-heal. You have to put too much into Professor X to get as much as you're getting out of Professor X. And that's my problem. If he was a straight 11 across the board, I would be fine with him, because then you're okay, I know why I'm trying to grind out these first few turns, because at 9 range, being able to just mind control, all sorts of random guys is pretty strong. But when we start looking at him in comparison to XSS, Professor X, he's crap. He is pure and utter crap. Okay? So, yeah. Just let him go. Let him go. Legion, both Legions are good. I lean toward high skill level, Legion 36B. Medium skill level, Legion Fracture Savant. Both of them are really, really good. Really, really good. Now, I will say Fracture Savant benefits from equipment, way better. But I think Legion 36B cannot be equipped. Or it can be. I don't know. I may be wrong. I could be wrong. I thought there was something listed there that says that Legion is not a standard character. All right, I guess I was wrong. So let's sort of go and break down Legion Fracture Savant and why he might be the hero X-Men needs. First off, he starts with 1 plot point. So you can start out the gate and use the -1. I'm trying to maintain control. Free, choose 2 standard powers. Legion Fracture Savant can use the chosen powers until your next turn. Okay, so that's great. Now we combine that with Exospecs. So Exospecs is giving us, let's just say, hypersonic speed. So we sidestep first, then we pick hypersonic speed. Then we choose 2 powers. So we can pick not super strength, because that doesn't work it doesn't work as good as it used to. But you can still do that. But okay, so let's just say we pick Precision Strike and Shape Change. Okay? So now we functionally have utilized 3 powers really well to make Legion really effective. And I actually think he's worth it. Then you do the +1, free, choose 2 different standard powers. Then an opponent chooses one of those 2. Legion Fracture Savant can use the power chosen by your opponent until your next turn. So you can just be like, look, I clocked you and I'm going to pick Super Sense Shape Change. All right, you have to pick one to deal with me. All right, great. -4, I am control. Legion Fracture Savant can use all standard powers except Earthbound, Neutralize, and Battle Fury until your next turn. Yeah, that's really good. You have infinite combos. You want to charge Flurry with him? You can. If you want to, make your whole thing of Legion being a melee piece. Fracture Savant, a melee piece, a range piece. I wouldn't say a tank, but like highly evasive, a poison piece. Like you can do it. Like you have all the tools to do it, because you can pick Poison Out Wit and be like, yeah, that's happening. So yeah, I like that. Now Legion is a lot of figuring what the heck you're doing. It's a lot. Okay. So I like it, but at the same time, I feel like if you gave him Exospecs, he's even more stupid. Or it allows you to balance him out. Then that, or there's a couple of different equipments that actually could work with him pretty well. Proxima Staff could be one. Even Corvus Glaive Staff, that could be another one that works pretty well, considering that you might want to get some healing. Exospecs, of course, also could be pretty well. Do pretty well. So like there's it requires skill. Now you're not playing Legion 36B on theme. He's going to be on a rando team. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But look out for the chain, because I feel like if you use the chain effect, it can possibly get out of control real fast. And remember, you can use those to proc for trouble alerts. So that's another cool thing. Next up is Colossus. You're going to see this Colossus. You're definitely going to see this Colossus. From an ID card perspective, he is stupid. 75 points, 11 attack, 4 damage, defend invincible. During an attack, adjacent friendly characters that replace their defense value with Colossus can use invulnerability. Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's going to be Mr. Call In, Mr. What can I do for you? Do I want to say you're going to need 2? Not really. 1 is going to be good enough, but yeah, he's good. So pick one up. Don't pay more than $30 for one. And I don't even think he would go for more than that. Mystique, I like it. I really like her. I think there's a lot of potential there. The question comes in is, are we going to see teams built around her? And my answer is no. I don't think we are quite yet. If you do, they're going to be those, hey, check me out. I have a team full of Mystiques, and I'm running them up on top of you, and I am dropping ID cards through these Mystiques. Oh, you're going to try to attack me? I am going to go ahead and roll for shape change. Oh, I got it because it's a 2 through 6, and screw you. So here's I think there's a lot of things that are going to cause problems with people dealing with the Mystique. So yeah, so pro Mystiques, I think you're going to see her in multiples. That's just I think a fact of life. So moving on, we got Pyro. For 50 points, Pyro is not bad. For a character that can potentially hit you for 5 or 4 damage, or have a 12 attack, or 11 or 12 attack, I think Pyro is good. He also has 2 hot to handle, energy explosion, poison. When Pyro uses energy explosion, you may choose that he has 3 targets, or after resolutions, he can use barrier at no cost. I think Pyro is actually really strong. Will you see him in competitive play? Maybe not. And that's sort of the problem with a character like him, is either he's going to pop off and show up, or he's just going to be another, oh, here's a super rare. Do you want to trade for it type piece? Like, and that's one part that's really frustrating for me, is like my mutant brothers and sisters, unfortunately, it is a really, really bad trait. It's a really bad trait. Because what you're saying is, unless you have some other general effect, the only way you're taking tokens off is leadership. There's no way of doing it with the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. Okay? To my knowledge. You can't... Or actually, no. Never mind. You have to use it with the Brotherhood of Mutants TA. And roll high enough. Okay? So you have the Brotherhood of Mutants TA. You use it. You take a token off. And you'll heal 1 click. Or leadership. And I don't think that's good. I don't think that's really good design, because the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability can change, because it has changed. Okay? And that makes Pyro to me a little bit unstable. But anyway, like overall, do I like him? Yes. For his points, he's pretty decent. But again, in the current format, I don't see people gravitating to playing him, which is really sad. Sauron, another piece that is actually pretty good, that could do a lot. I think Sauron is like prime candidate for exospecs. Okay? And again, he has my mutant brothers and sisters. It's like, come on, yeah. Anyway, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. He has absorb your life force. He has poison. When Sauron uses it, and damages one or more opposing characters. After resolution, remove an action token from him. Oh, okay, great. So now he actually has something built in where he is healing. So I poison you, I poison the multiple characters, boom. I remove an action token, boom. Now I heal one, boom. Okay, great. Now I can activate Exospecs, steal energy. If I'm not on those clicks, boom, hit you. And now I'm right back up onto click 2 or to click 1. Like, that's great. That's great. Or hey, I have stuff still adjacent to me. I'm gonna flurry. There's so many cool things that Sauron can do if you build him out properly. I just think that he's going to, again, be overlooked because he's not easy and he doesn't stand up to Cosmic that well. But it's a good figure. And so, like, in terms of, like, the set, Sauron's great. But in terms of, like, the greater meta, like, again, someone will have to invent a way to utilize Sauron before he gets any attention. Spiral, more fun. Like, I think overall, like, she's good. Coming in 7 clicks, 80 points. That's very cost efficient. She has My Mutant Brothers and Sisters. She also has Interdimensional Talent Scout, Phasing Teleport. When Spiral uses Phasing Teleport and moves 5 or less squares after resolution, she can use both Incapacitate and Telekinesis at no cost in any order. Now, the Incapacitate, her being able to incapacitate 3 different targets at once, is really nice. But also being able to, follow up and possibly TK an object at somebody is also great. Or her being able to TK herself back, into safety is also an option. So I think there's, again, like, this is not bad. But I don't think it's good enough. So there's that. And of course, she's not spiral without Flurry and Blade. So there you go. And you have Perplex, Probability and Control. So yeah. That's just stupid. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Cassandra Nova, overcosted in every way. There is no way to actually, I feel, utilize her properly. And the main reason, again, we have so much pulse wave, so her defense value is sort of crap. Her trait, Minefield, Mind Control, when Cassandra Nova uses it for each character she hit after resolution, after resolutions, those that attacked and hit get an approved token, and otherwise they get a rejected token. Characters with 1 or more approved tokens modify attack by +1 when on your force, and characters with 1 or more rejected token modify attack by -1 when not on your force. Again, way too expensive for a flat +1 -1. It's not worth it. If they stacked up, then oh yeah, maybe. But overall, not worth it. Triple target Mind Control at 8 squares, improved targeting, ignores characters. It's not worth it. Leadership, Perplex, Shape Change on top of Super Senses. Okay, on 4 through 6 Super Senses. No. For her, for her to generate a guard command, that unit just sucks. That unit just sucks. So no. So overall, she's a pile of wasted plastic. Mr. Sinister, Rogue Geneticist, is okay. Again, 100 points, a little too expensive for the stats that we're getting. But if we look at him, he has some cool stuff. So we have +1 collecting genetic material, free. This turn, when Mr. Sinister rogues Genesis or a Nasty Boy hits, give a hit character a DNA sample token. If that character already has a DNA sample token, gain 1 additional plot point. So that's pretty cool. So you can potentially get a +2. -0. My plans come to fruition. Free. This turn, when Mr. Sinister Rogue's Genesis attacks a character with 1 or more DNA sample tokens, modify attack and damage by +X, where X is your plot points. So, yes, this here is good. Because now you have an incentive to continue collecting DNA. -1 Nasty Boy's attacks. Free. Generate a Nasty Boy bystander. Each distinct Nasty Boy bystander has max 1. So you're collecting DNA, sending out Nasty Boys. They're doing stuff. And I functionally like it. I like it. Now, I know some of you might be saying, like, why is that? It's real clear. Okay, so Slab, close combat expert in sidestep with impervious. That's a nice tie-up. Gorgeous George, have incapacitate and giant reach 4. So that's good too. Ruckus, listen up, boys. Leadership. When Ruckus uses it and succeeds, instead of normal effects, he may remove an action token from an adjacent friendly bystander. That's pretty solid. Hairbag. Charge, Blaze Claws, Fangs. 16 defense. So functionally, let's just say that you're not able to pack a leadership on your team. You're able to -1 plot point, generate a Nasty Boy, and then start off with Ruckus. Now you have leadership. Your opponent kills your group, you don't care. You just continue making Ruckuses. You'll constantly get your +1 action. So there's a lot of good stuff here. I feel like most people are going to overlook it and not consider what he can do. And building up his attack. Oh, gosh. I see a lot of awesome there, but anyway. Then there's the 43B Danger Room Mr. Sinister. And like always, put it inside of a vehicle and watch it work. So yeah. Alright. Let's go ahead into the chases. So we have Donald Pierce, which is okay. White Bishop. Donald Pierce has protected Outwit, which is nice. When Donald Pierce KOs a higher point cost character after resolution, remove all action tokens from him and heal him 2 clicks. That's nice. Humans will not be replaced by Homo Superior. When Donald Pierce attacks a higher point character, modifies attack by +1 damage. Donald Pierce can reduce penetrating damage dealt to him by higher point character. So he's pretty sturdy for 100 points. Morphing Cybernetic Arms, free. Choose a standard attack power. Donald Prince can use the chosen power until next turn. So he can pretty much have Steel Energy or Pulse Wave or whatever else. Nothing left but my head. Stop. When this power is revealed, place Donald Pierce on a card, on this card, and generate a Donald Pierce head object in the square he last occupied. If Donald Pierce is on his card, Donald Pierce head, if Donald Pierce is on his card and Donald Pierce's head is KO'd, or he's the only character on your forest, KO Donald Pierce. So there you go. I like this. So Donald Pierce's head is indestructible object. But you can still, I think you can still make an object attack with it. If this object is in Donald Pierce's starting area, adjacent characters can be given a double power action to place Donald Pierce's head, to place Donald Pierce in this object square on click number 2, and then remove this object from the game. But nothing really stops you from generating that object again. So prepare to see him in all the Don't Die teams. Just be prepared. Yeah, you just gotta go into songs sometimes. But yeah, like that's good. Harry Leland, hard to move hero. Opposing characters within 4 squares modify their attack and damage by -2 if they have moved this turn. Opposing characters can't be placed from elsewhere on the map within 4 squares of Harry Leland. He's like, screw your colossal retail, homie. You can't touch this, dude. So yeah, Harry Leland. Yeah, grade A. Definitely going to see him. Definitely going to see him. Emma Frost. Inner Circle, White Queen. Emma Frost has protected Outwit, Mind Control. Period. When Emma Frost uses it as range, modifier attack by +1, which makes her a 12, so that's pretty good. And she may instead target any number of characters of lower point value. Wow. That could actually be pretty good. Definitely, now, I know some people might be wondering, what's the impact of this? And I would argue is that this makes the Emma Frost ID card go up exponentially. And hell, I'm actually starting to think, do I need to get one before the prices go up? Because let's do a real-time eBay search. I know this isn't couth to do, so let's see what her ID is going for. $24. $24. Wow. That is high. There's another one from Canada for $29. That is high. So yeah. So yeah, just get ready for it. That's coming, because now all of a sudden you pop her out and she's able to control maybe a whole team, depending on how you utilize her. So yeah, I don't think most people had a Emma Frost ID and are probably regretting not having one now for this chase. Yeah. So Outwit on top of everything else, then Mind Control with a 12 attack, and possibly almost infinite targets. Yeah, that's something to consider. All right, then there's Jean Grey. Inner Circle, Black Queen, Outwit, but only to choose a black power or a special power. All right, whatever. Mind Control. When Jean Grey uses it at range, modify attack by +1. And she may instead target any number of characters of a lower point value. Now, some of you will say, hey, Edward, why wouldn't I just run Jean Grey? Why am I worrying about Emma Frost? Jean Grey is just way better. And I can see that. I can see that. But when you're just looking at the options, now Emma Frost has a legit option for people to consider for her ID card. Whereas Jean Grey already has 15 different options for people to consider. Okay, so that's more of what I want to get at. It's like, look, you can use this. This is actually pretty good. Emma has protected outwit. Jean Grey doesn't. So there are pros and cons. There are pros and cons. So Jason Wendigard has shown us the way. Sidestep. Other friendly characters can target Jean Grey. Other friendly characters can target Jean Grey when using mind control. So there's that. So there are some setups here that I think that maybe some people have not considered. And when you start getting into a situation where you're able to target friendlies with mind control, I know one thing that I fear, and I'm saying this legitimately, I fear that's going to happen is you're going to get a situation where you're going to see a very, very, very stat-pumped Jean Grey getting mind controlled multiple times and just wrecking a team. I see that happening because let's just say this: she's not unique, and you can summon in Jean Grey 3 ways. So you have the faculty Jean Grey, student Jean Grey, and I think you can bring her in on the Phoenix, the wanted poster. Okay, so let's just say my team is super mind control buffer guys, and I get to the point of end game where I'm like, all right, time to end this, and I just bring out Jeans. And I perplex down her defense, up her attack, up her damage, mind control her, and I have the train track map bonus. So when I use mind control, I get an additional +1 attack, or my opponents are -1 defense, something like that. Whoever I'm trying to mind control is -1 defense, and then I just go and I mind control Jean and I walk her down the board. ID call in 1, mind control number 1, mind control number 2, and then Jean Grey does her own thing as the 4th action if I have a leadership. That can be a tactic that's legitimate, and I am concerned about that because that is a massive amount of abuse. So yeah, I've talked way more on this than I care to. I think that maybe people will. I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into something that WizKids regrets. I really hope, because if even to elaborate more, if I have multi-target mind control and I'm able to get multiple of my opponent's characters plus Jean Grey, yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Phoenix Unbound, stop, invulnerable, power cosmic, team ability. When she can fly, when this click is first revealed after resolutions, deal 3 damage to all other friendly and opposing characters within 6 squares. Power, replace Jean Grey with Dark Phoenix G020 on click 25. Alright, cool. So you can do that. Alright. I see this is $100, maybe $120 figure. Definitely worth it. Jason Wendigard. Don't let the dreams of another life trouble you. Mind control. When Jason Wingard uses that range, he may count range and draw a line of fire from any character he hit this turn. And if he hits after resolutions, he can use mind control at no cost, but only to target a character he hasn't targeted with mind control this turn. He may repeat this. So chain mind control through your opponent's force sounds really good to me. And I think that this guy is going to be a contender. Psionic Illusion, free. Choose the character on your sideline 150 points or less. Generate a bystander on that character's card. Each bystander generated this way has max 1. You may activate this ability twice per game. Hello, Groot. And hello, Sinister on my sideboard. Sinister, the Super Genesis. The nasty boys are dumb, so I might as well. Inner Circle Club, White King. Jason Wingard has protected outwit, leadership, but may remove action tokens regardless of adjacency. So yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb. My Creation Your Reality, Mastermind Super Senses. Yeah. This character is $80 minimum starting off. Sebastian Shaw, again, prime candidate for Exospecs. Inner Circle, Black King, Outwit, but only to choose a black power or special power. Kinetic Energy Absorption. Sebastian Shaw can't be knocked back. The more you fight, the stronger I become. When Sebastian Shaw is hit, give him a number of energy tokens equal to the damage dealt to him by the attack. Free. Remove any number of energy tokens this turn. Sebastian Shaw can use the effect instead for that number and lower numbers. Willpower charge, super strength flurry. Modify all combat values by +1. Regeneration free. So yeah. He is actually pretty good because he's designed to stay alive. Now, I do think like him and Exospecs is actually pretty dumb because, for example, you start getting around, click 6? Click 6, yeah. 11 attack, 4 damage. Having hypersonic speed there, having charge, steel energy is a really good idea. Oh, look, hey, it's like, I'm healing back up. So I think that puts us at a really, really, really good position. Sentinel Squad. Oh, yeah, so that's the last super rare. So let's start getting into these giant babies. Sentinel Squad 1. These things are great. Prime directive at the beginning of your turn. Sentinel Squad 1 may move 1 square. If an opposing character with X-Men or Brotherhood of Mutant keyword is on the map, it may move 1 additional square. Okay, so just for the fact that at the beginning of your turn you get to move them 1 square makes them very, very dangerous. Because from a positioning perspective, if you know where you're going, giving them 1 more square is equivalent of just saying you have 1 more square to run away, 1 more square to running shot, 1 more square to charge. Like, whatever, when you're counting your squares dealing with Sentinel Squad 1, you have to automatically take into account that it's their current position +1. And if you don't, you can get creeped on real quick. Sentinel trait 2, Sentinel Squad 1 bonding, autopilot. Willpower, but only if Sentinel Squad 1 has a pilot. So again, you're putting in generic robot guys inside your Sentinels. So primarily Magneto. So Magneto, Danger Room Magneto is going to be the key pilot for Sentinel Squad 1 for running shot, Sabretooth for the charge, and then probably Sinister for the sidestep. because that one looks like more of a supporting sentinel. So yeah. So I think that's how it works out. All right, next. You have Prime Sentinel with the Stealth Sentinel, which you go back and forth in between being stealthy and attacky. I think that this Sentinel is good at 150 and at 100. You have enough things that allow it to stay alive and be a threat to your opponent. Now, my mindset personally is, if you are going to be running the Stealth Sentinel, you need to be running it like on a Sentinel team. You can't just run it by itself. I don't think a robot team wouldn't be bad, but you definitely need a Sentinel team. Because a Sentinel team right now just is giving you so many different additional fodder characters and ways of getting backup, and I just think it's worth it. A lot of these Sentinel teams are generating, I think it's like Sentinel Squad. No, just Sentinels. The basic Sentinels coming out, and I think that's great. I think that is wonderful. The amount of backup that you're going to get with these Sentinels. The G002 Sentinels. So I must be honest with you. 100 points or 150, I think you got it. You're going to have enough backup in between Tri-Sentinels, your Sentinel Squad 1, if you really want to run it, your other like generic Sentinels. And that's not even before you even get into Nimrod. Like I just think, like I said before in episode part 1 of this, Sentinel is popping off. Sentinel is grade A meta. There is a ton of fun stuff and effective stuff in Sentinel right now. If you're sleeping on it, I'm sorry. So yeah, let's go ahead and that's enough. Let's go ahead and move on down. You have G002 Sentinel. 33 points, 25 points. If you pay 33 points for a Sentinel at the beginning of the game, choose a starting line. If you pay 25 points or it was brought into the game by another game effect, roll a d6 to determine a starting click. Now, why is this important? So, if you pay 33 points, you're pretty much going to almost guaranteed bring it in for the perplex, because that's really what Sentinels need. They need the perplex because you're going to get prob from theme prob. You're going to have 16 prob. That's not ever going to be a problem. So you really want to get number 4. You really want to roll a 4 for the perplex. Now, let's look at them. So we have Charge, Super Strength, Stealth, and Incapacitate. When Sentinel uses it as close, you may instead target all opposing characters within 3 in line of fire, regardless of adjacency. And then you have the Perplex one, has plasticity, but affects all opposing characters within 3 squares in line of fire. You have Force Blast, Range Combat Expert, and then you have Sidestep, Close Combat Expert. So all of these are useful. The most useful is the Running Shot, Psychic Blast, of course the Plasticity, Perplex, and then followed up by the Force Blast, Range Combat Expert. The Sidestep, Close Combat Expert is okay. I'm not too big of a fan of it. I feel like realistically, the Stealth, the Charge, and the Sidestep are the 3 worst that you can get. But when we start looking at these guys fundamentally, you're going to pay 33 points to bring in the Perplex one. But past that, you're generating them. You are straight generating them. And I feel like the price of these guys are going to be rather high. I think people are going to start charging $10 for these guys first few weeks. even though they're common. And the main reason, like I said, is I think once folks realized how good Sentinel is, and that these guys can be generated and they are not part of your sideline, I think there's a lot of issues that will come up. Also, if you love Master Mold, you got to buy like 15 of these suckers. If you love Master Mold, you have to like buy 15 of these suckers. They're great. Prime directives, so they have that little creeping ability built into them too. Yeah, these guys are so good. I do not sleep. All right, next up is Nimrod. If you're not aware of Nimrod and the stupid that it can become, you weren't playing battle royales. Nimrod is probably going to be the future of. He's going to be seen a lot in competitive heroclix for states at 275. At 175, I think is where he's going to be a reality for standard play. He is affordable in terms of economically. You should never pay more than $15 for a Nimrod. And Nimrod has so many different things built into him that it's hard to ignore. At the beginning of your turn, choose a standard attack power. Nimrod can use that power this turn, so he has pick a power. Oh, I took unavoidable damage because you have a Darwin. Oh, guess what? I have so many Sentinel retals. It's not funny. Thank you. I get to pulse wave you, Darwin. And then I get to steal energy back up. Oh my gosh, the horror. The horror, so says the children. Okay, so running comparative evaluations of reference data. When Nimrod is attacked and would be hit, you roll 2d6. If your roll is equal or higher than the attack roll, Nimrod evades the attack, and after resolutions, deal the attacker damage equal to their printed damage value. So many characters I've KO'd because of this dumb trait. This should never exist. Ever. This is a mistake, WizKids. This is a mistake. You gave it to Thanos. Nobody used Thanos, and you thought it's classic WizKids logic. They give something stupid strong to a character, to a figure, and then they're like, no one's using this figure, so it's not strong enough. And it's like, well, maybe it's because the figure that you put it on was too high cost for it to ever see any level of play. Okay? Did you think about like, hey, this character's 6 clicks deep, does not have protected pulse wave, and I gave them all these dumb traits that increases the cost of the figure up to the point where it's 200 points, and I'm getting 6 clicks out of it. Yeah. So, different thing here is that this was on the AI Thanos, except I think you had to roll higher. And this one you don't. It's equal or higher. And that's important. And so the moment it's equal, he's just like, I reflect your base damage back at you. Go die now. So yeah, like this his trait should stop there, but oh no, it doesn't. Third trait, repair protocols activated. Each time Nimrod takes 2 or more damage from an opponent's attack, give him a structural damage token. Free, remove a structural damage token and heal 1 click. Will this make Nimrod immortal? No. Does it make him hard to kill? Yes. Are there things in this set that can heal Sentinels real easy? Yes. Are there things in Robot that can heal him up real easily or be really good companions with? Yes. So what are we learning from this? That Nimrod is stupid, and Nimrod is he's going to have a foothold in the game. He's going to have a foothold in the game because you have every incentive to, if you're running him at 275, you have every incentive just to run him up into your opponent's throat and be like, what are you going to do? You're going to have to attack me because I am going to attack you. You better roll high. And yeah, it's just that good. Is it protected pulse wave? No. Which is the only thing that's sort of saving him and making him balance. This is a good figure, WizKids. This is a good common figure that people should have access to make them to allow them to be competitive without having to spend a ton of money. We need more figures like Nimrod. Screw what everybody else says. I know, like 6 months from now, I'm going to be tired of seeing Nimrods all over the place, and that he will heavily lean the game state towards pulse wave, but it's necessary. It's necessary so that we can move the game on to being a little bit more aggressive. All right, next up, Proteus. Warping Reality. Barrier, Shape Change, Smoke Cloud. Once per turn, Proteus can use Barrier as free or Smoke Cloud as free, but only generate 2 markers. Other characters within 3 squares can't use improved abilities. So that's nice. But that also affects your people too. So you have to be very, very careful about that. Now, I know most people are going to be running Proteus at 20 anyway, but this is something that I feel like you're going to have to check people on because they can't use improved targeting, improved movement. Okay? Those are very important. This is very important. Possesses someone to hide, mind control, as free. When Proteus uses it and hits, you may choose that hit characters can't make attacks. If you do, after resolutions, place Proteus adjacent to a hit character, and he can't be the target of ranged attacks until your next turn. So again, that's more if you're playing Proteus, I think at 100. No, it's 150. So it benefits you if you're playing him at 150. So he's like, bloop, you can't shoot me, you got to come up and punch me. Colossal Retaliation. A paralyzing fear. Free if no friendly characters have been placed this turn. Choose an opposing character that attack Proteus or damage a friendly character. Since your last turn, place Proteus such that he can make a close attack targeting the chosen character, and then do so. A hit character gets 2 fear tokens. Even if this power is lost, characters with fear tokens must roll a d6 when making an attack and negatively modify their attack value by half the result, and then remove the fear token. So yeah, that is a bit strong. Colossal Indifference. I don't know better. Stop if Proteus starts at 20 points starting line. He can't attack smaller characters except via Colossal Retaliation. He has a range of 5. Overall, you're going to see a lot of people spam Proteus. For Brute and for Monster, but primarily for Monster. You're going to see a bunch of Proteus spam. For the fact that you're able to move 4 squares or however far you want to get, put up barrier, and then just be like, yeah, it's free. This is going to be here every turn. What are you going to do? Nothing. Go suck it. So yeah, that's Proteus. You're going to see Proteus. Exodus. Good gosh, this dude is annoying. So I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see Exodus because Exodus at 175 and at 75 is your only hope of beating Nimrod in states. She's your only hope. So, well, he's one of your only hopes. But in general, in the long term, I think that he's not a bad figure. I just think there's a lot that you have to be prepared for. So, first off, you have Genosian Force Field at the beginning of the game. Choose 2, 4, 6, or 8 to be X. When a character moves more than X squares away, would move within X squares of Exodus and wasn't given a move action, that character stops moving. When a character more than X squares away attacks, one or more characters within X squares of Exodus modify their attack by -1. That is annoying. Trust me, I played against it in Battle Royales. It is annoying. Because you're running shotting and you think you're going to get an angle and you can't because Exodus says so. You think you're going to try to get this one shot off on a character, but they're within X squares of Exodus and you miss by 1. That happened to me. Exodus sucks to deal with. It really sucks to deal with Exodus. So there's that. Then you have Magneto's greatest disciple, energy explosion, pulse wave, telekinesis, precision strike, but it can't be used with more than one target. That's fine. Named by Magnus himself to lead mutants forward. Leadership. When Exodus uses it and succeeds instead of normal effect, you may remove an action token from up to 3 adjacent friendly characters that each share a keyword with him. If you do, until your next turn, modify Exodus combat values by +1 for each token removed. Again, this is stupid. This is stupid. Now, Exodus is unique, but I would really recommend you play him at 175 on a Brotherhood of Mutants team. He's just that dumb. And he's one of your few hopes to try to defeat Nimrod. So yeah. Next up is Onslaught. Again, another one of these. This is sort of broke figures. You have behind the scenes. Onslaught can't be targeted by opposing characters more than 5 squares away, which is really annoying when you're playing Nimrod. I know, because I had to play Isaac in teams. And I was playing Nimrod, and he was playing Onslaughts. It sucks. Anyway, so that's strong. He has approved targeting or is hindering and characters. Psychic Juggernaut. Onslaught has protected Mind Control, Outwit, and Psychic Blast. Once per turn, Onslaught can use Incapacity as free, or Mind Control is free, or Telekinesis is free. This also is annoying as hell. It's annoying as hell. Kill You, K. Marco. What a splendid idea. And Onslaught can knock back characters that can use charge or combat reflexes. When Onslaught hits with a close attack, a hit character unequips all equips and drops any held objects, and after resolution, Onslaught knocks back a hit character 9 squares. So yeah, that does happen. Considering you're playing him at 125, 99.9% of the time, yeah, it's a rough go. It really is a rough go. Reshaping Reality gets probability control. Shape Change when Onslaught uses probability control to re-roll an opposing character's attack roll, and the final result is missed after resolution. You may place that opposing character up to 3 squares away from their current square, which can really screw somebody up if they're also running Exodus. I know, because it's happened in a Battle Royale. So, is this figure good at 125? Because I'm looking at it from a competitive landscape. And the answer is yes-ish. But I also think that there is more that you can unpack there as time progresses. So, yeah. All right. Juggernaut. Yeah, man. 200-point Juggernaut for the win. I am not on team 300-point Juggernaut, but team 200-point Juggernaut and team 100-point Juggernaut. I can see it. And here's why. There are a lot, and I do mean a lot, of maps that just have way too much blocking. like Hedge Maze, Star Trek Underground, Rock Dungeon. Like, I can keep going on. The fact that Juggernaut just comes in, he's just like, look, I know my role, and my role is just to open up lanes for my Brotherhood compatriots to wreck you. When you understand that's the role of Juggernaut, then all of it starts coming together. Yes, you could like play him as a one-man army. You could. I wouldn't recommend it in Modern. Maybe in Rock States, maybe-ish. But even still, like, you need to win map so that you have enough blocking to destroy to heal him up. And that's the problem that I see with Juggernaut. So yeah, like, overall, Juggernaut is stupid. He is also protected pulse wave. So you actually have to hit him. I endorse it. All right. So Green Dragon Puff. $225, $150, never at low dial at $75. That's how I'm looking at it if you're going to play it. Force Blast traded when Green Dragon Puff moves one or more times during an action. After resolution, she can use Force Blast at no cost. Yeah, that is stupid. So when this character hypersonic speeds, it has the potential of knocking back 3 times. So once with the move, resolution of the move, then Force Blast, then attack Force Blast, and then move again Force Blast. Yeah. Says Force Blast. When Dream Puff moves one or more times. Oh, never mind. Take that back. One or more times. So twice. So Force Blast and attack, Force Blast. You can do it pre-move, pre-attack, or post-attack. So only twice. That's not bad. Building a nest out of a skyscraper. Destroy an adjacent piece. Blocking terrain. If you do, generate and hold a light object. Oh, okay. There we go. Then make a ranged attack. Green Dragon Puff may activate this twice per turn. Okay, so that's pretty good. That is pretty good because now you're functionally able to compensate for being a high point cost by being able to do multiple attacks. And you can set that up where you have barrier on your team if you wanted to. Revert to original size. Green Dragon Puff has tiny instead of colossal and can't use her trait. That's not bad. So overall, I think it's viable. Are people going to play it? No. But I think it's viable. I think it's pretty nice. Phoenix. Played this character. She's good. 175. She was. Oh yeah, she was good. Maybe not 175 good in the long run, but she's not bad. So Cosmic Entity can't be targeted by an attack that targets multiple characters. Eternal Flame of Destruction and Rebirth. Energy Shield Deflection, Poison, and Phoenix uses Poison. And an opposing character took damage from it. After resolution, choose one. Heal her one click for each opposing character damaged this way, or heal each adjacent friendly character one click. I like this. This actually panned out to be pretty good in Battle Royales, but also I think in Constructed that this can be a pretty good setup. Now, I sort of wish there was running shot on her pulse wave click, but there's not, so that's just how it is. Colossal Retaliation, Sonic Maelstrom, free. If no other friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character that attacked Phoenix or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Place Phoenix within 3 squares. Then make a ranged attack targeting that character and all opposing characters within 3 squares, regardless of line of fire. Instead of normal damage, deal each hit character 1 penetrating damage for each action token they have. Hit targets that can use Incapacitate, Mind Control, Outwit, or Penetrate Psychic Blast. Modify their combat values by -1 until your next turn. Are you going to see this as a staple? Yes. You're going to see her on ID all the time. You're going to see her on an ID all the time. Do you need 3 of her? No, 2 would actually be enough. And I'm telling everyone now, just be ready. The pocket colossal retails are coming, and to me that's great because it takes a lot of teams sort of like Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek moves up because now almost everybody on their team can call out a colossal retaliator, and they have like the ability to set up that situation a lot better. And they just keep popping IDs and bringing out more and more and more retaliators, and because they're able to have the numbers. So Star Trek is easily like +8, and you still have a lot of points left. Wakanda might have a chance now. I have to do some lab thinking. I may have let that one out a little too early. Okay, y'all just forget I said that one. All right, next up is Cerebra. And Cerebra, all honesty, this is not an OMA character. Definitely not an OMA character. 150 or 75, you're probably more than likely going to play her at 75. Mutant detection, other friendly characters within 4 squares, modify attack by +1, and can use improved targeting or is hindering when targeting characters with X-Men or Brotherhood of Mutants keywords. Team transport, phase and teleport, passenger 6, but only to carry characters with X-Men keyword. And when she does, don't modify her speed value. Yep. So you're primarily going to do the team transport thing. You're not going to do 150. She's really, really just a support piece. Like, she doesn't provide any muscle. The only thing she does is call in ID cards really well. So I think the 90% of the time you're going to see her is going to be as the transport. And that leads a lot of questions of where does that place Lila Cheney in the Blackbird? And functionally, I would say right now, I think options are good. The fact that people are not just blindly leaning on the Blackbird to cover everything means that we can start looking at the Blackbird in those builds as a character that is there, whose whole purpose is to spit out backup. Like, when we look at it like that, then it takes on a whole new reality. But until that happens, I think Cerebra is necessary for that X-Men 2.0 as much as saying, like, you run Cerebra, you run Low Jet, you run Beast, maybe, or a bunch of Moiras, and you start figuring things out. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Cyclops Sentinel. Again, Sentinels killing it. Prime Directive on there. Improved targeting, destroys blocking on there. Decapitation is irrelevant. Once per game, Cyclops Sentinel takes damage from an opponent's attack after resolution. Generate a Sentinel head. Bystander and Cyclops Sentinel can't make ranged attacks for the rest of the game. Don't care. That head is boss. Enormous optic beam. Penetrating psychic blast. When Cyclops Sentinel uses it in hits after resolutions, choose one to affect a hit character and all opposing characters adjacent to it. Deal each of them one penetrating damage, or give each of them one action token, or knock them back each 6 squares. Yes, please. Can I have more of this? Okay, so this again, you are teaming him up with Nimrod. You are teaming him up with Stealth Sentinel. You're teaming him up with Friends of Humanity. Like, I'm sorry. Sentinel is the keyword. Like, I feel that this set, with everything that we have, that Sentinel can come in and functionally present a solid threat to Cosmic. Do I think it requires some work? Yes. Do I think it requires some rotating lineups? Yes. Do I think it still requires a little bit more skill than what Cosmic requires? Yes. But I think Sentinel is there. All the tools we need for Sentinel or Robot is there. Preferably Sentinel. The Sentinel head has a 12 attack psychic blast 4 damage, which is better than anything the 50 point Sentinel can do by itself. And yeah, I like it. I like it. It can't be just KO'd except through crit hit, which means that it does not KO from pushing damage. Okay, so that's something else that is important. It can only be KO'd by a crit hit, which means that it can push and not take pushing damage unless they rule against that. All right, let's talk about Bastion. You're probably going to see Bastion at 200 or 100. I do not fully endorse the 300. I don't think you're getting enough out of that dial at 300. At 200 and 100, you sort of know what you're getting in for. Again, Sentinel, keyword, future, robot, all good stuff. It's my resolute belief that X51 is better suited for the role of Executioner, your Executioner. Mind control, but only target friendly or opposing characters with the robot keyword. This is strong, because you're able to create very, very domineering situations using this ability. Because I have 2 targets. Someone pops a Storm ID. I think I get another target. Okay, so I can probably get up to 3 targets. Mind control my 3 targets to move out, be in position, fully buffed, take shots, and then after I've taken those shots, token up my 1 Bastion, and then have those characters take those same shots again. I think that's really good. I definitely for 100 points, it's really good. So again, when we start talking about friendly mind control, just being mindful of how that can go off the rails really quickly. Mutant eradication begins. Leadership, when Bastion uses it and succeeds instead of normal effects, you may generate Sentinels. Yeah, the G02 Sentinels. Yeah, that's money right there. When generating the Sentinel, roll determine its click. If an opposing character has the X-Men or Brotherhood keyword, Bastion succeeds on a 4 through 6 when using leadership. So if you can't get those call-ins off the board, baby, you might be in trouble. Can't get them call-ins off the board, you might be in trouble. So automatic force fields, impervious, barrier as free. Barrier is free, but only to generate the markers in squares adjacent to Bastion. Those markers block line of fire to chosen characters that can use great size. He may still target through them. So, yeah, he has barrier that is one way. He can shoot through it, but you can't shoot back. So yes, again, another solid option. Proteus. This one is the 10-point Proteus. The Garden of Proteus. Whenever a character within range is given a costed action, after resolution, you may generate a blocking, hindering, obscuring, or water terrain marker within 3 squares of that character, but not in their square. At the beginning of your turn, remove all terrain markers generated by Proteus. Now, I know at first people might be saying, what? Is this even fair? And the answer is no, this is really oppressive. Because for 10 points, I should not have access to this trait. You should make it clear that I should not have access to this trait. So let me explain why. So I have 4 Proteuses at 10 points. So it says whenever a character within range is given a costed action, so I'm giving it a token. After resolutions, you may generate a blocking terrain, hindering, obscuring, or water terrain marker within 3 squares of that character, but not in their squares. So this would proc for each and every one of them. So I have, let's just say I have the following. I have Super McTank. Okay, Super McTank. I have 4 Proteuses. And I have something like the dungeon map. Or better yet, I have, what is it? Star Trek dungeon. Okay, yeah. Underground dungeon. Okay, so I'm on Star Trek Underground. Mr. Hyper McSpeed shoots out, hits the target, and comes back. Okay? But Mr. Hyper McSpeed, let's just say he started outside of the 5 range. That's fine. I can have Mr. Sentinel, Friend of Humanity guy, just move. And once he is given that tokenable action, it will trigger all 4 Proteuses. Because there's nothing to say if it hasn't been already triggered this turn. Once all 4 Proteuses are triggered, or heck, I can just move a Proteus, it would pop for the barrier to be put into place. So I can functionally just either put a complete circle around Mr. Hypersonic to the speed, or I can just wall off a complete section. And with them being 10 points, the fact that you can make an insane amount of terrain is ridiculous. It's not just the barrier, it's the variations of terrain that makes this really bad in the long run. Now, you could say, but look, buddy, the movement is 3. They're not huffing and puffing anywhere, which is the only good thing. It's one of the few good things. But if you have Mr. Uatu from Galactic Guardians, you swap that attack and movement value, and now all of a sudden they move 10 squares, then you're like, oh my gosh, I never expected this. All right, let's talk about some other stuff here. He has Colossal Retaliation. When he does so, make close attack targeting a chosen character. All of the opposed characters within 3 squares and line of fire hit characters gain immobile until your next turn. He deals 0 damage, so he's primarily there for the Garden of Proteus effect. That's the part I feel is broken. he has super senses on his stop click, which is important because you can multi-target pulse wave and kill a bunch of those buggers. So yeah, he can still super senses though, but you could multi-target pulse wave a bunch of them and potentially kill them. All right, let's go ahead and move on down the line. Talk about Magneto. I feel Magneto is good at 100, actually 200. 200 and 100, but realistically, you're probably going to primarily play him at 25. And the main reason you're going to play him at 25 again is Pocket Colossal Retail. Well, there's a couple of reasons. So first off is he is a leadership. He has that free. Choose a character within range and line of fire. Place that character in a square adjacent to its current square. So that automatically is a very good control. Then he has Pulse Wave on his heroclix for the 100 and 200, I think. Yeah. So again, he is a slight solution for you to try to deal with Nimrod. You also have Telekinesis. When Magneto uses Pulse Wave, he can use improved targeting, ignores blocking. Not destroys blocking, ignores blocking. After resolution, destroy all blocking terrain within the use of Pulse Wave range. And if 2 or more pieces of blocking terrain are destroyed in this way, generate a standard object. Then you get to Telekinesis as free, but only to make an object attack. So you Pulse Wave the guy and then you chuck an object at him. That is really nice. I think that's a solid play. Magneto has Protected, Psychic Blast, Impervious. When Magneto is attacked, modify defense by +1 for every 2 squares the attacker is away from him. So sort of like the old giant size X-Men Magneto, except you don't have to be like super close to him. He just gets more defense. So if you're doing a range attack, you're worse off than doing a melee attack. Yep. So the Colossal Retail is such that he can place Magneto, and such that he can make a ranged attack targeting a chosen character, then do so. 10 attack, 3 damage, 8 range. Yeah, this is going to see a lot of play. So expect to buy one for like $20-25. This set's going to be expensive on the wallet, definitely. Red Onslaught. Without going too much into it, I think there is a good play at 300. Okay, I really do think there's a good play at 300. My problem is, if you're going to play him at 300, you need to be so on your game, it's insane. So let's go into detail. So first off, he has Sentinels free. If an opposing force has more characters than your force does, generate a Sentinel bystander. Okay, so at 150 you generate 1. At 200 you generate. At 300 you generate 2. You have max 2. Now I will explain why this is stupid. So I sit in my starting area as Red Onslaught. I send out a Sentinel. The Sentinel goes and attacks and shoots. My opponent goes and kills the Sentinel. Okay, guess what? Next turn I get to generate a Sentinel for free. You just keep generating Sentinels. There is no stop to it. Your opponent has 5 figures on their force, and you killed 1. They still have more figures than you. You can keep generating Sentinels. Once you are equal, then you can't keep generating Sentinels. But all Onslaught has to do is just like, oh, okay, I'm going to force push to KO this Sentinel after an attack. Now I'm going to generate another Sentinel. and you just keep it coming. It gets a little bit dangerous once you get down to 3 characters, because now you only can generate one sentinel. Since yeah, but other than that, like, it's not a bad tactic. It's just not a great tactic. Definitely for a 300 point modern standard, but if you are doing some sort of limited or whatever, actually no, not even limited, because it's nothing bigger than peanut base. So yeah, you couldn't even play him. Behind the scenes, Red Onslaught can be targeted by opposing characters 5 or more squares away. War Hate. Mind controls sidestep when Red Onslaught uses mind control targeting a single opposing character and hits for the rest of the game. That character does not have any keywords and can't use team abilities, which you're really, once you get to that stage, you really don't want to be using that mind control most of the time. Omega level, Mastermind, Leadership, Outwit. When Red Onslaught uses leadership and succeeds, you may also choose an opposing character within range and a standard power. Give the chosen character an action token, and that character can't use the chosen power until your next turn, which is really good considering the amount of Mastermind that we've seen. Alright, Eugene Torbett Witspan. He's crap. Don't play him no matter what. No matter what. Alright, then you have Colossus, which, again, it's the IDs. Like, the IDs are ridiculous. And also Colossal Retail. So yeah, you're going to see him. So you have another Colossal Retail. So for 25 points. Yep. Charge, Quake, Colossal Retail, Jason, all characters in the rows or columns between where Colossus began. This action and his current square, regardless of adjacent hit characters, are dealt 2 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. Yeah, you're going to see him. And he doesn't have Colossal Indifference. So he can punch, then Colossal Retail, or Colossal Retail and punch. Yeah, like it's, yeah. You're going to see him. You're going to see him. So yeah. Wendigo, another one of those. This dude is broke. You're going to see him at 100 or 15. Probably a lot in the 15 category. Smell of Flesh, sidestep, but only if a character has a wounded token. When an opposing character takes damage from an attack, give that character a wounded token. If they don't have one, when a character heals, remove their wounded tokens. Ancient Mystical Curse, Colossal Stamina, Steel Energy. When Wendigo uses Steel Energy, he may heal past his starting line. So yay, that's happening. Yeah, that's happening. So functionally, what's going to end up happening is people are going to have Wendigo as their Colossal Retaliator because he's stupid cheap at 15 points. He's going to You're going to perplex up his attack, Colossal Retaliate, and then he's going to hit, and he's going to heal up, and then he is just going to continually be healing. So you have to understand the Colossal Retaliation is not going to give him action token. So then he's going to do that. Then he's going to land on in the mountains. No one hears you scream. Charge, Flurry. When Wendigo ends his movement after resolution, he may make a close attack, but only to target a character with a wounded token. So he then hits, because he's still a plus whatever attack. So he hits again, and then hits a third time. So then he goes bloop, and goes up some more. Okay? So now you're probably looking at him being on charge. Okay? And then he's going to probably get hit back down to stop, and it's all going to repeat all over again. For 15 points, this thing is too dumb. So this is $30 each, probably 40. So just keep that in mind. Van Whedon. Yep, Van Whedon. Draconic Metamorph. Oh, yeah. This one, no. Yeah, this is a waste of plastic. Don't play this. Don't play this. Because for 75 points, you're getting Charged Battle Fury. 175, you're getting Running Shot, Shape Change, Energy Explosion. And then you have that weird, like, I start on this as a tiny character type thing. No, don't play this character. Don't play this character. I don't think this character is going to be high-level competitive whatsoever. 275, that's a joke. Like, once you start getting laid into, it's not that good. Fun games, play this. Dark Phoenix, again, Colossal Retail for days. Combine her with the Mutant Messiah. The Mutant Messiah Colossus. And you have a attack battery. You have a stupid attack battery. So you're guaranteed that your Colossal Retail will go off. Okay? Unless you have like Precision Strike or something. Yeah. And so when Dark Phoenix KOs an opposing character, actually I don't think Precision Strike works that way anymore. Never mind. When Dark Phoenix KOs an opposing character or an opposing character takes 4 more damage from her attack, after resolutions, heal her 1 click. She may heal past her starting lines this way, but can't be healed any other way. And watch the stupid start happening. Boom. Colossal Retail. Kill something. Oh my gosh. I killed something. Boom. I killed a bunch of pogs. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I killed a bunch of pogs. Heal up. Click. Oh, that was free. Let me now power action. Sidestep. Range combat expert. Boom. Oh, did I do 4 more damage? Let me heal up. Click. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we know it's ridiculous. But we also know it's coming. It's straight coming. And again, off of the ID. And she's not unique. So it's like 2 or 3 Dark Phoenixes popping off. Like, it's doable. And where I look at it as being even more stupid is, let's go back to that whole X-Men 2.0 thing. Why are X-Men good? Could X-Men be better? How do we improve X-Men and why? You now have multiple Dark Phoenixes that you just need to have decent bodyguards with. And they can go and snipe other Colossals because their ranges are base 10. Most Colossals ranges cap out at 8. Tri-Sentinel is 9. Okay? You can get into position very easily. And then you have 3 other Perplexes on your field that you can just be like, oh, you have those Colossals over there, and shot you. Okay, cool. Oh, I shot you. I KO'd you, plus I did 4 more damage. I heal 1 click. Click. Bam. There you go. Oh, I KO'd all of your retail because somehow I'm able to give my guys Precision Strike or whatever. Or I just perplexed up damages. Whatever. There are too many things that make Dark Phoenix not fit into the standard mold. And the fact that she also heals up gives her a ridiculous amount of leverage over most characters. And so I know some people will say Dark Phoenix is OP. You're going to be playing her at 300 points and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you're not ever playing her at 300 points. Ever. Okay? What you are going to do is you're going to play her at 30. You're going to pair her up with Colossus or somebody else that's going to give her mastermind fodder, and then you're going to let that chick heal over time. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go for easy KO. She's going to be a easy KO cannon, and she is going to be making sure that she can always deal 4 or more damage. That's it. That's all this chick is going to do as you gradually heal her up, shot after shot after shot after shot. Oh, you try to hurt her? Big Daddy Colossus. Big Daddy Colossus is here to protect his woman. That's it. That is it. So, again, do not sleep on this. You can go multiple directions. Multiple directions. So yeah, let's just keep going. And she's cosmic. So there, yeah, you're going to see her. And again, pocket colossal retail. She is probably going to be one of the main things that's going to make X-Men come back. Going to make the Jet better, because again, you're calling her in at 30. You're calling her in at 30. And she's going to get all of her stupid abilities at 30. Okay? And yeah, she's just going to do what it do. And yeah, you couldn't mutant Messiah her at that point. But yeah, if you're telling me that I can potentially call in something and Colossal Retail, then heal it up, and I only paid 30 points for it and it still stays on the map and it's sort of rope-a-doping for me, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. All right. Now it's Krakoa. This is okay. Steel energy, opposing characters that occupy or are adjacent to its hindering terrain markers must break away as if breaking away from Krakoa, and it may target them with a close attack regardless of adjacency. So you pretty much Gardner without all the goodness of Gardner. Flurry, phasing teleport, plasticity, on special movement power, damage power that has pretty much most of the time, is free if a friendly character has been placed this turn. No friendly character has been placed this turn. Choose an opposing character that attack Krakoa or damage a friendly character. Since your last turn, place Krakoa such you can make a close attack. Targeting the chosen character, then do so using Quake at no cost. If you did, after resolution, generate hindering terrain markers in all squares Krakoa occupied at the beginning and end of this action. So functionally, you go up. He has this his entire dial. Just most of the entire dial. It's like, boop, you targeted me. All right, cool, great guy. I'm gonna Quake you. I'm gonna Colossal Retail. Boom, I'm gonna Quake you, and then I am going to punch somebody. So to me, it's okay. It's not like, oh yay. It's okay. Mojo. Anyway, Mojo can't be targeted by opposing characters 5 squares out. More action. Ratings are dropping. Whenever a character misses all attacks of their attack, give Mojo a board token free. Remove 2 board tokens to either place Mojo anywhere on the map or make an attack. So that can be pretty good. Definitely in terms of ID dropping. Okay. So that's huge. Because you can run them at 175. Sorry, it's like almost 2 in the morning. I'm trying to get this done. I'm powering through. You can play them at 175 and just I can summon in so many IDs, make your head spin. And I can send out little fodder guys, and if you miss against my fodder guys, oh, okay, great. You're setting me up for the ultimate ID call in. So as a fighter, he's mediocre, but as an ID battery, I think he's pretty good. You combine him with Isaac. I think you might be on to something. All right, next up, Shadow King. I like Shadow King. Unfortunately, his point costs are not conducive to really playing him. 150 is not worth it, and 300 points aren't worth it. But as a character and what he does is not bad. Let's see. Behind the scenes, Shadow King can't be targeted from opposing characters more than 5 or more squares away. You belong to the Shadow King now. Mind control, phasing, teleport once per turn. When Shadow King uses either after resolutions, he may use the other one at no cost, which means he always can sort of dip around. And with 8 range, mind control, like, that's good. At 150, I think, yeah, there might be something there. It being a pure psychic in destruction, penetrating psychic blast when Shadow King KOs a character. After resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each opposing character that was adjacent. And that's mediocre. So you primarily like that phase and mind control thing. That's his best gimmick. So overall, like, I like Shadow King, but I can see how he can be a little too expensive. Prime Storm. I had a chance of winning her in a battle royale, and I lost her. That's just as bad as when I lost Ultra Chase Thanos at Nats at a battle royale. Moment of silence. All right, let's grow up. Let's play some here. Let's grow up a little bit. All right, so let's look at Storm. 300 points is a big no-no. 225 is a big no-no. I would probably make the argument that 150 is also a no-no, considering that Phoenix Force Storm is way better at 150. But she is not bad. She's just not great. And you're functionally looking at her at 25 points of being, again, a Colossal Retaliator. Now, note, you need to be keeping track of which one of these X-Men that you can get that are going to be Colossal Retaliators that are also useful other than that, because you can't run a double prime. So that's something you have to keep in mind of when you're starting picking your Colossal Retaliator. So you can't have her end, I think, Colossus. Okay. So you have her traits. I think she has trait Energy Shield Deflection. And then she can choose up to 3 opposing characters within 6 squares in line of fire. Roll d6, knock back each of the chosen characters a number of squares equal to the result. So that is good because she can just do her attack or Colossal Retail and then just poof, Force Blast people for free. Colossal Retaliation, Mind Warp, free if no friendly character has been placed this turn. Choose an opposing character that attacks Storm or damage a friendly character since your last turn. Play Storm such that she can make a close attack targeting the chosen character. Then do so. If she hits after resolutions, she can use Mind Control at no cost as range, modifying her attack by +3 to target the hit characters and up to 2 others, which functionally with precision strikes makes her one of the most stupidest, and I do mean stupidest, Colossal Retaliators ever. Yeah. But she has 2 printed damage, so you can up her damage, and yeah, like, she's going to be stupid. So prepare to see her. She's going to stay over $100 for a long while. Madrox. I don't know. I'm undecided on the Madrox. I'll leave it at that. Iceman, you're going to see Iceman as a Colossal Retail. There's no need to even go over that. He's going to just come up as a Colossal Retail. He's just too good. And you're probably going to see multiples of him. Again, he's probably going to be $50 to $80. Yeah, $50 to $80. All right. So let's talk about the Fast Forces real quick, because I know this is going on almost 2 hours. Magneto, Lost in the Savage Land is okay. It's not really that great, in my opinion. Yeah, it's okay. You have Wolverine, which he has 78 points and 50 points. Hunted and on the run, friendly characters that are adjacent or have the X-Men keyword can use combat reflexes when attacked by characters of giant or colossal. So, yeah, you're like, this is what the X-Men need so that they can go through the future and survive the coming of the Sentinels. Because otherwise, they don't have jack. They don't have jack to help them against the Sentinels. Okay, that's also sort of still useful overall. I wish that that contingency wasn't there. I wish it was just you have combat reflexes, period. Okay. Anyway, going on. Hunted and on the run. You have toughness. Again, this rogue is all right. The one from the main set, number 2, is just better. It's just better. I hate to say it. This one's crap. All right. Beast. His hunted on the run. He gives us super senses. So yeah, this is good. They only fight because they fear us, because they don't yet understand. Combat reflexes and defend. This is good. 50 points. I can see Beast being useful on your X-Men team. Storm. She's giving out Mystic's team ability, which you need. You need this. But it's only against giants or colossals, which again I feel is not good. You just you need to take off that limitation. I think she would actually be in a good position. I believe that pleasure is mine, running shot, and sidestep. Now this is nice. This is nice. Her 70-point dial is close to being useful. Her 50-point dial is definitely useful. Gambit, you get prob when attacked by a giant and colossal. It's not bad. Both dials are good. Now, why am I saying that? All right, so let's look at what he has. Force Blast, running shot, stealth. Okay? That's pretty good. Also, he has enhancement. That is helping your team out. So, the team buff plus improved targeting or hindering, I have to endorse this Gambit. Jubilee, it's good. Friendly characters that are adjacent or have the X-Men keyword can use shape change when attacked by characters with giant or colossal. Now, this here is, again, Jubilee is your saving grace. You are running her at 20 points. If you're running an X-Men team, you're almost guaranteed to run her. And the main reason you're guaranteed to run her is that she is giving your entire team colossal retail shape change. And then you're looking with Beast giving your entire team super senses. But in particular, she is 20 points, so she's a cheap investment. So that's the entirety of the set. I'm super tired. I'd like to thank y'all for listening. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. Follow me on Twitter at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and said, buddy, you probably should have went to bed an hour ago. You're starting to slur your words. Yeah, that is a problem. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it pithy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. Let me know what you think of this set. That's it. I'd like to thank you all for listening.